Our chief Washington correspondent, Major Garrett, is here with a look at the next step in the president's effort to build a wall. Major, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Before we get to the next step, let's stay on this step, this deal. What did the president get after all of this activity?
The worst deal of all the ones ever put before him. I mean, we should take this moment to identify that the great deal maker dealt himself the worst possible hand of all of them given to him by Congress, Republican or Democrat. But he has no choice. He has to take it. Very likely means he's going to sign it, according to all those who are closest to him. Once he signs it, we'll know for sure, but this is going to be the worst of the deals presented to him because it's the smallest dollar amount. He had a much larger dollar amount a year ago, even 3 or 4 months ago.
And is that because Congress railroaded the president, or is it because the president, after 2 years in office?
There's fatigue after the longest partial government shutdown. Nobody wants to go into that box canyon again, politically or from a matter of policy. So the president gave the appropriators space to do this deal. Appropriators made the deal that they could make and said, here it is, Mr. President, take it or leave it, and you'll have to take it.
He's also dangled another option, and that's an emergency declaration.
Sure.
How likely could that happen?
I think it's more likely than not. The president will say, look, I respected the congressional process. Congress is dysfunctional. I've told the country that repeatedly. And I'm now going to use at least some emergency powers to get some money because I've identified this as a national priority. Congress did not meet my requirements. I will use other tools to achieve that. That will try to address the criticism he knows will come from the right.
When Democratic presidents have done that same thing, what's the Republican reaction been?
Hostile, that you are overstepping your grounds and you should respect the congressional process. That's why the president's waited so long. Held it in abeyance to say, look, I gave this process time. I'm not satisfied. I'm going to go another route.
Speaker Pelosi also said there wouldn't be $1
right, and there
for any
is
kind of wall. And there is money there.
It's not for a wall. And look, we're really getting hung up because the president's rhetoric made us get hung up on it in 2016. Wall, concrete, whatever. Look, the experts do say there are areas that need reinforcement. That's a legitimate public policy issue. The president's pursuing that. He's just not getting nearly as much as he wants. And Democrats also know that there is nothing actually immoral about part of fencing that's reinforced that protects the border.
And can we just be clear? For decades, Congress, Democratic, Republican, and presidents have all kicked the can down the road on legitimate immigration reform.
Right.
Is there anything new or different in this bill that would address what is a problem facing this country about dealing with illegal immigrants in this country, whether it's putting them on temporary green cards or anything, DACA, anything in this?
The simple answer is no. However, on the other side of this, there must come the realization that even with a president who has the most aggressive border security rhetoric of any president in the last 30 to 40 years, you still can't get this big border wall. That shows you the limits of our political legislative process.
Why doesn't he use all of that political power to address some real immigration reform?
That's going to be the next phase of this, because on the other side of this, worst deal imaginable, he's going to have to come up with a new approach to immigration, and it's going to have to be bigger and a broader aperture.
One that has affected his own companies. I mean, he'd had illegal immigrants working in his companies. They had to fire them. He should know, his own business knows that there's a problem.
Yeah, just hearing you say it's the worst deal that he could have possibly gotten isn't going to sit well with him. So it'll be interesting to see.
No, it's not, but it forces him to reconcile himself to the legislative process.
Yeah.
And once you do that, then you make different strategic decisions and you establish different priorities.
And another shutdown wouldn't look good for his poll numbers either.
It would not, which are in better shape than they've been recently.
Major, thank you.
Always a pleasure.